Hey, what's up, guys? You got Chuckle King here with my Week 8 battle for the NPL versus Turkey. He's like 5-1 about right now, maybe even more with forfeit wins and such, as people aren't playing their games as consistently. But regardless, he has a really impressive record right now, and he has a great team to back it up. And I was predicting what Monty was going to draft as he was drafting as soon as he got a Mega Galley with the first pick, and I was pretty much spot on for the first like 4 or 5 picks or so. But anyway, his team from most to least threatening to mine is Mega Gallade, Suicune, Mimikyu, Mesprit, Tornadus T, Ferrothorn, Bisharp, Nidoking, Flygon, Rotomune, and Bouffalant. Mega Gallade, I do have Squirmy that kind of handles it, though +2 close combat still does a ton, probably close to knocks me out. It has knockoff for Misharna, has poison jab for my Azumarill. He has a lot of ways to get through a lot of my mons, and I only have Azelf and Megalopunny to add speed. Megalopunny can kill with return after rocks. Azelf I don't think can really kill unless I'm Z-move or Specs or something on the, or even Choice Bandit Explosion or something on the Gallade. So it's going to be tough for me to revenge kill Gallade. Gallade's probably going to be getting a kill this match. Suicune's annoying just because the only Pokemon I have that hits it super effectively with Stab is Manectric. And Manectric's not that strong, though it doesn't have that bad of a matchup in this game. But spoilers, I'm deciding to not bring it this game. So Suicune's going to be pretty annoying because of how bulky it is. Mimikyu, just need to break the disguise, but it's going to be tough for me to break the disguise with my team and what the team that he's going to be bringing, most likely. Mesprit, it's going to be 100% Stealth Rock, U-Turn, Thunderwave Psychic, or something on the lines of that for my Megalopunny. I really don't have much around it outside of putting Baton Pass my Megalopunny and then Pursue Trapping with Alolan Muck, which isn't that bad of a strategy because Muck also has a pretty decent matchup against his team. Tornadus is fast, but like I either have like Megalopunny that outspeeds and kills pretty reliably, or otherwise I don't think it's going to be that offensively pressuring my team that well. I have Squirmy that can at least take a flying move. I won't be taking a heat wave, but at least I could take one move. Maybe if I'm especially defensive, I could take hits or so. Alolan Muck, Miltank, even to an extent Rhyperior, I'll take on Tornadus pretty well. And then I have Choice Scarfers that could do a lot of damage. And like, Tornadus isn't going to be OHKOing Landorus unless he's a Z-Fly or something. Ferrothorn, he has spikes, but Squirmy can defog, Hydreigon can defog. I have a lot of fire coverage on this team, not worried. Bisharp has strong priority, but I have Landorus and Megalopunny, don't really see it coming much. Nidoking is weird because it could be bulky, just because like if he runs max speed, it's not going to be really outspeeding anything. Like I have Hydreigon, Landorus, Manectric, Megalopunny, they're all going to outspeed anyway, even if he has max speed. So he probably is going to run max HP, unless he's really worried about my Azumarill outspeeding with a fast Azumarill set with Liquidation. But I wouldn't really risk it with his Nidoking. But it's not going to be fast, which is fine, but I was going to outspeed it anyway. I'm not too worried, even if it's going to be a bulkier Nidoking that can still dish out a lot of damage. Flygon, not worried about because I have Squirmy. Rotom Heat, not worried about. I have a lot of responses to it. Hydreigon, Muck, Miltank, Azumarill to an extent, Rhyperior, Misharna, Manectric, they all handle it fine. Bouffalant, not worried about that at all. I have Megalopunny, Squirmy. So the team I'm bringing is Hyper Offense. Haven't really brought it yet this season, but it looks pretty interesting against his team. It pressures the Suicune to not be able to set up Calm Minds. Hopefully it pressures the Tornadus to at most only get 1 kill. Hopefully I can put a lot of pressure on Mega Gallade where it only gets 1 kill. I just have to figure out a way to break the disguise on Mimikyu, and then I should be set. So one Pokemon that really destroys him is Azumarill. Belly Drum, Aqua Jet, Play Rough, Brick Break. I Brick Break just because at +6 I'm going to be killing the Ferrothorn. And I don't want the defense drops from Superpower because he does have like Shadow Sneak, Mega Gallade. He has Mimikyu, Shadow Sneak as ways to Revenge Kill me even Bisharp with Sucker Punch, because he will be outspeeding my Aqua Jet, so I don't want to take that defense drop from Superpower if I don't have to. Aqua Jet hits a lot of his team really hard. Playvrov hits the Suicune that I don't hit with Aqua Jet plus Brick Break otherwise. This should put in a lot of work though. And I don't really need the speed unless, there's really nothing I want to outspeed unless I want to outspeed like a Bouffalon, I guess. But that wasn't really worth it to me. I didn't think he was going to bring it with Mega Lopunny and Skarmory being easy brings for me. Next I have Standard, Mega Lopunny, Fake Out, Return, High Jump Kick, unless speed to outspeed, max speed, Tornadus. And Healing Wish is to give my second opportunity for Azumarill to try to sweep, or give some of my other faster ones I haven't showed yet potentials to do a lot of damage the second time in the game. Because this is Hyper Offense, I'm probably not going to be switching out a lot. So this is also, I guess, another way to gain momentum, because Azumarill doesn't have momentum, Skarmory's not going to have momentum, so I want ways to try to get easier switches if I can. And I don't have U-Turn on Landers either, but next Pokemon I have is Landers with Max Special Attack Modest, enough speed to add speed and max speed, Rotom Heat, and then a little bit in attack. Earth Power hits a lot of, basically 2 hit KOs everything except for Tornadus, a special defensive Therathorn, Rotom Heat, and Flygon. So there are the options there, and Mesprit. So he does have a lot of things that aren't 2 hit KO'd by Earth Power, but Rock Slide's going to kill the Tornadus and the Rotom Heat after Rocks, which is pretty clutch. And Knockoff is there to hopefully get rid of the Rocky Helmet from the Mesprit. Gives me a way to hit it. Gives me a way to hit the Flygon, though I don't hit it that hard, especially if he's Z-move. So I do have to watch out for like a Flygon if he does bring it. And Rock Polish is there. Maybe gives me a chance to sweep late game if the Mimikyu's disguise is broken and he doesn't have the Flygon. Next I have Dragonium Z Hydreigon. I'm going to try to bluff this as a choice Scarf user because it's the thing that makes sense on my team to be Scarfed. It would outspeed the Rotom Heat. I don't really need a Scarfed Azelf to outspeed anything significantly unless if I was afraid of Scarf Flygon, which seems weird and kind of sets me up for Bisharp to Pursuit Trap me anyway. So Choice Scarf Azelf seems weird. Pretty standard Hydreigon, Fire Blast to hit the Ferrothorn, Draco Meteor, Z Draco hits and kills a lot of things on his team. Dark Pulse to hit the Mimikyu and U-turn out on the Mimikyu. This will outspeed max speed Mimikyu with my Hydreigon set. Though I don't expect it to be outspeed. That's why max speed, that's why I have Landorus, only a 299, just outspeeding max speed Rotom. Because I don't think he's going to bring a lot of speed on Mimikyu, because he's not going to outspeed the Hydreigon anyway, so it's not really worth it for him to run much speed. Skarmory is next. As a lead, Stealth Rock, Spikes, Taunt, Brave Bird. Now his defogging options are Tornadus T, he has Rotom Heat, and he has Flygon. Flygon would be a little bit problematic. I do have Azumarill that can set up on it. Mega Lopunny will Fake Out, kill it. The last Pokemon I have will kill it. Landorus, Hydreigon have a little bit of difficulties with Flygon, but I would also do a decent amount of damage with Brave Bird with my Skarmory. Rotom Heat, I should be able to get at least a Stealth Rock up, and then actually Rotom Heat would be a little bit problematic. Thing is, I do have Aqua Jet with Azumarill. Fake Out plus Return should kill Mega Lopunny unless he's defensive. Landorus kills or does a ton of damage with Rock Slide if Stealth Rocks aren't up. Hydreigon kills, and my last Pokemon does a lot of damage to it. So Rotom Heat would be problematic to Skarmory, but not really to anything else in the team. Tornadus T could be Defog, I would doubt it. And again, I could always Brave Bird and make sure he can't get a Defog up, especially with my Custap Berry. And the last Pokemon I have is Azelf with enough speed to outspeed max speed Gallade. Fire Blast to hit the Ferrothorn, Grass Knot to do a lot of damage to the Suicune. Psyshock does a little bit more damage to the Omega Gallade than Psychic does, and kind of negates like a potential AV Tornadus set, and U-turn to gain momentum throughout the match, and gives me something for the Mimikyu and maybe the Bisharp. And I would have Fire Blast for the Bishop anyway. Life Orb does a ton of damage. I was considering like choice specs, but the ability to switch up move is pretty nice versus Turkey's team. So let's get right into the game. Alright, here we are for the battle against Turkey. And as we can see here, he does not bring the Suicune, which I am definitely very happy about. Otherwise, I'm not terribly surprised with this team. I would have been surprised if he brought the Flygon, Rotom, Heat, or Bouffalant. But I'm not surprised with the 6 that he brought besides not having Suicune. Maybe the Nidoking over the Suicune, but I could see Nidoking coming as well too, just because it could probably run max HP, max special attack in this matchup. So trying to win with Belly Drum Azumarill. I might be able to set it up on the Mesprit. Maybe the Mega Gallade if I can like scat and see if he doesn't have like Poison Jab. Maybe even the Tornadus I could set it up on. Mega Lopunny outspeeds everything. Don't really see a Scarfer on his team because I wouldn't imagine Mesprit would be Scarfed. I imagine it'd be defensive. Landorus, the only ground resist is the Tornadus, which gets spots by a Rock Slide. So I just gotta make sure I get rocks up, which I could do with my Skarmory, as long as I make sure that he doesn't defog with his Tornadus. So I'm going to lead with my Skarmory and try to get my hazards up as he leads with the Tornadus. So I am a little bit worried that he's Taunt and he's going to prevent my rocks to get up, and that would be pretty problematic for me, because I want to get up as many hazards as I can to weaken his team and hopefully do as much trading as possible and break the Disguise and Mimikyu. That's the plan. But fortunately he goes for the Heat Wave and doesn't bring me into my Sturdy, which shows that he's not special attack invested and probably like some sort of max HP, max speed, bulky set of some sort. So I'm going to go right for the Brave Bird after he goes for the Heat Wave to make sure that he can't defog these rocks away, and he goes for another Heat Wave. So the damage I do, max attack Admin Brave Bird still does about half, but this shows that he's at least max HP, maybe a little bit of defense. I'm not entirely sure yet, but I would imagine it still is at least enough speed to outspeed Azelf. So what I'm going to do is go to Mega Lopunny, and I can click return pretty easily. His switch in and the Mesprit is super obvious, but I don't have like Baton Pass plus Alolan Muck to trap the Mesprit, which would be pretty cool because I want a little bit more offense overall with this team. And Muck somewhat struggled against a couple things on his team, like this Nidoking here. So I am just going to go for the return. I have to get a hit off on this Mesprit eventually, and when I go for this return on the Mesprit, at least later on in the match, I will be able to KO it after rocks, which is certainly great. But I'm not going to stay in here. I'm going to go for the Hydreigon. If he goes to the Thunder Wave, that's the worst thing that could happen, but it wouldn't be terrible because it would give me an opportunity right here to go for the Z Draco. But he goes for the U-turn, which is a good play knowing I didn't want to stay in. And he goes into the Gallade. Now this is a pretty free close combat form. I could go in Azumarill, but I'm sure he has some sort of move to hit my Azumarill super effectively, most likely Poison Jab. So Azumarill isn't a great switch in for me. He could go for the knockoff pretty easily here, knowing that I'm going to die to a close combat or any fighting move with my Hydreigon. So he could go for the knockoff, so Azelf's not that great. Fighting move obviously destroys Mega Lopunny. He probably doesn't go for the Ice Punch here. He could go for the Ice Punch, so that way he doesn't lower his defenses for my Azumarill, because I would imagine Choice Band and Aqua Jet with a -1 defense Gallade would do a lot. So I'm going to stay in here, go for the Z Draco, and hope he over-predicts. As we can see here, he goes, he Mega Evolves, and he goes for the knockoff, I guess predicting my Azelf for getting rid of the berry on my Azumarill. So I'm going to go for the Z Draco and knock out this Mega Gallade. I'm not sure why Turkey stayed in and didn't go for the fighting move. He was also pretty aggressive earlier on in the match. I was assuming that he was going to continue that trend there. So it didn't pay off for him, unfortunately. And I was able to get that prediction right and kill off the Mega Gallade. He brings in the Tornadus. Hopefully I could live this Hurricane. I probably don't. I didn't really calc it though, but fortunately I do live, so I can land a nice Draco off and kill. But I actually missed a Draco, so that's pretty unfortunate because that would have killed the Tornadus from the HP it was at. and I would have had a health, or still health on my Hydreigon. So that's pretty unfortunate hacks there, but it is what it is. Then he goes for the U-turn and knocks me out. So instead of this Tornadus being dead, or at least, I mean, it would have been dead, then I have a dead Hydreigon, and he still has about 50% HP Tornadus that I have to worry about, which Mega Lopunny can revenge kill, but it's still annoying that it's alive at this point. So I go to my Azolf here. I predict that he's probably going to be Aqua Berry. He could be Chople Berry, but I highly doubt it, just because I could have Focus Blast my Landorus, or obviously a high jump kick on my Mega Lopunny, but I could also Fire Punch on my Mega Lopunny, so I guess Aqua Berry makes a lot of sense here, but regardless, I want to go for the Fire Blast and at least burn it, because I sure he has Protect, and I don't want my Mega Lopunny to come in, and as he protects, he goes, if I go for a high jump kick, then I lose a lot of HP there, and might not be able to defeat this Ferrothorn, especially with Rocky Helmet Mesprit. But unfortunately, I miss a Fire Blast here, and he gets a ton of damage off of the Gyro Ball. That would have sucked. I figured out after the battle that he was Aqua Berry, so I would have done like maybe 60ish% because he was max special defense, but getting that Fire Blast off gives me a lot more freedom to make a prediction on the following turn, and not forced to go for a Fire Blast again to hit this Ferrothorn. So he could have gone into another Pokemon predicting me to go for a Fire Blast, and I could have gone for a Psyshock, say if he's goes in his Tornadus, which spoilers, he was at Solfest, so he would have lived the Draco Meteor from my Hydreigon if I hit it, but it would have done a lot of damage. Obviously, a crit would have knocked it out too. Or if he missed a Hurricane, it also would have been good. But a Psyshock would have been able to kill the Tornadus at that range. Probably even a Fire Blast might have killed it. Oh, it definitely would have killed after the Draco Meteor range. It would, Tornadus would be down to like 10-15%. So pretty unfortunate I missed both these moves, but I feel like I still have a chance to win as long as I can break the Disguise and the Mimikyu. So he goes into the Tornadus, does not take much at all from a Life Orb Fire Blast, because we figure out here that he is Assault Vest, which I wasn't 100% sure of because I didn't get any damage on it prior. So he turns out and goes into Ferrothorn. I don't have super power on the Azumarill, and it would not guaranteed kill anyway. I don't have anything to win a KO with my Landorus, so I feel like I have to go into my Mega Lopunny here and go for the high jump kick. He goes for Protect. I thought it was maybe, it might have been a little of an over predict on me, but I knew he had Protect. I didn't think he was going to go for the Protect here though, just because Substitute was a pretty easy bring for me. Like a sub Encore or like a sub Drain Punch set would have done pretty well against this team, so I didn't think he was going to go for the Protect here. But he did, and I go for the high jump kick and deal a lot of damage to myself, which is unfortunate, but again, because I missed a Fire Blast, I still have to try to get as much damage on this Ferrothorn as I can. I can't really over-predict, and I'm going to 2-hit KO this Mesprit regardless if I go for return or high jump kick here. And go for the high jump kick. I get Rocky Helmet damage, go for the high jump kick again in the off chance he wants to try to Iron Barb stall me with his Ferrothorn. But I do kill the Mesprit, which is great. He brings in his Nidoking. I'll find out what his spread is. He could even be a Choice Scarf set, but I'm going to go into my Mega Lopunny, just go for the return. He is not Choice Scarf, and the 60% damage with return shows that he is max HP like predicted. He goes for the Flamethrower and kills my Azumarill. I go into Landorus. I have to Earth Power here, because there's no way that he doesn't have Ice Beam to kill my Landorus. And I couldn't really set up with my Azumarill because he could have Sludge Wave. I could go for Aqua Jet, I guess, with my Azumarill, but I figured Landorus was the best thing to bring in at this point. And I go and kill the Nidoking, and then he's going to bring in his Tornadus. I will be able to kill with a Rock Slide unless if I miss, and he shouldn't be able to kill me with anything because he's no special attack investments I figured out earlier. Fortunately, I do hit this Rock Slide, and now his Tornadus is finally dead. But it's going to be pretty hard for me to break this guy. It's a Mimikyu, especially because he did 75% with the Hidden Power Ice. I am brought in ranged where an Adamant Life Orb Shadow Sneak would kill, and he is Adamant Life Orb Shadow Sneak Mimikyu. So it's going to be tough for me to bring this back. I go for the Aqua Jet and basically have to hope for a crit after this Life Orb damage from the Mimikyu to have any chance of winning this game. I can't go for the Belly Drum because I figure he has Wood Hammer to hit this Azumarill. So I go for the Aqua Jet here, break the disguise, and as we show here, he does have the Wood Hammer, so it does a ton of damage to me. Recover a little bit, puts me out of range to where a Iron Barb Set's going to kill me, which is nice. I would be able to kill from this range with a Aqua Jet, and he won't be able to kill with a Shadow Sneak from the range he's at right now, though I would die to the following turn if I had Superpowered to the Ferrothorn. It would be a 1-0 or a 0-0 win for me, I guess, but because I don't have Superpower, it's going to be tough. I could go for the Brick Break, predicting him to switch out in the Ferrothorn and 2-hit KO it, and then the Mimikyu is going to come in and Shadow Sneak, and it's a 1-0 win for me. But I prefer to just, on an off chance, try to get the win on my regard. The only way for me to do that is to go for the Aqua Jet on this Mimikyu, and basically hope that he misses with like a Power Whip or something, or doesn't go for the Gyro Ball, because I don't know if a Gyro Ball would kill at this range, but regardless, I go for the Aqua Jet and take Rocky Helmet damage, or Iron Barb's damage, and then a Brick Break is not going to kill from this range. Even if I had Superpower, he would have been able to revenge kill me with Faster Speed Mimikyu and killed my Azumarill. So a 2-0 loss to Turkey. Pretty unfortunate how the battle rolled out. I just was forced to make plays that I didn't necessarily was forced into otherwise if stuff earlier on in the game happened, but it is what it is. It's Pokemon. So I'm 4-4 right now, definitely in the playoff hunt for sure. I think this pretty much solidifies Turkey in the playoffs, so congrats to him. So that's week 8. Hopefully we have a little bit better fortunes in week 9s and week 10. But until next time, later guys.